So this was so inspiring that people are taking interest. And one thing I get credited for by a lot of people is that I've taken out history, heritage discussions out of the drawing rooms of South Bombay, where it is discussed over wine and cheese, to common man. So anybody on the street, because walks are something that you pay for, but I've done a lot of entire series in Marathi for a newspaper for Lok Satta. Lok Satta's YouTube channel, I did 100 episodes.
100 episodes?
Yeah, on history of Mumbai and on the streets.
That's a lot of copy, yaar.
Yeah, that has almost 3 crore views. So for Mumbaikars, the most popular one is a walk called Grizzly Girgaon.
Grizzly Girgaon?
Yeah, which happens in the night at 11 o'clock, 11 to 1, through the narrow lanes of Girgaon, where we talk about ghost stories. Yeah, so...
Oh, this is great. Based on real local...
Yeah. I have documented most of them, speaking to various people. And the documentation of what, why, how, it didn't start as a ghost walk. It started as mapping what is there in the area. And so many ghost stories started popping up that I decided to make a ghost walk out of it. And I thought I'll do it as a one-off. And to date, I think so we must have done at least 150 ghost walks since we started. And that's one walk that is always full.
Bharat is the name. Bharat is the country. So he's in the right place. Bharat Gothoskar, a very famous man on the show today for the first time. A real pioneer, real original sort of human being, and for which I have a lot of respect. Because he's come up with a concept that, when you know that you wanted to think of the same thing and you're immediately thinking, maine kyun nahi socha? When you have that feeling, you immediately know the guy's on a winning wicket. Not just from a business point of view. I'm just thinking about it just sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
And why haven't we thought about this? And you'll all think about this who don't know who he is yet, but we'll find out in a second. Because he's come up with Khaki Tours, which he will explain to us, where he basically, when I was young, my dad used to tell me one thing, do you understand that we never go to a zoo in our own city? When we go to Delhi, we go to the zoo. When we go to Calcutta, we go to the zoo. When we go to, Guwahati, we go to the zoo. But when we've never seen the zoo in Mumbai.
Totally.
And then I asked a lot of people and they found the same thing. We don't know our own locality. We never explore our own locality. We love going to Switzerland, jahan pe bhi. I'm talking about Yash Chopra films, of course. For a second, I got lost. But what a great idea. So let me quickly explain. We want to talk about your entire journey because we paid you so much money to come here. But before we do that, the concept is that you're basically finding out gems of Mumbai, opening it up for everybody to go and take a look, including Mumbaikars. So first, please explain.
So I always felt that Mumbaikars in particular and Indians in general are not aware of their own
God,
history.
I thought you were going to say Chutias. I was so worried end of the show, yaar. But that was the thought that came to my head.
I wouldn't disagree
Hey, Bharat!
And so how do you make history cool to a section of people? Because 99% of the people don't like history because the way it is taught in schools. Right?
True.
I was lucky enough to have a great teacher who taught me well.
Yeah.
And that idea was always there, that how do you make history cool? I thought the best way to do it is take people out. The basic concept for people is that they have to go to Agra, they have to go to Pune. That is where history is. You have to go somewhere.
Yeah. It's really north biased.
It's very north biased.
To begin with.
Yeah.
The Cholas are not given enough respect.
Totally.
Largest empire ever.
Totally. And the longest one.
Longest one?
Yeah.
That sounds vulgar.
Yeah.
Well, let's stay with the program. I've got a little ADHD.
Yeah. So the problem is people don't look at their local history. And there have been efforts in the city before. Yeah. There used to be a Bombay Local History Society, which was you were from Xavier. So,
yeah. I remember this. Yeah.
So it was started. But these were individual efforts, which
It's not a mainstream sort of thing. You have to be into that, and
Totally.
there's a group of people who go and do it and look at it.
Totally.
So you almost get isolated and never look at it.
Yeah. So the problem is many people who are into history are like the Brahmins of the yore. Right? हम 7 लोगों के बीच में ये सब अपना ही है. And if you are not a PhD in history, then you cannot talk about it. Right? So that's how it is. Also, most of the walks which were done in the city were done by architects. Yeah. Who are obsessed with architectural details, which common man doesn't give a damn. Right? So I thought I'm not an architect, and it's easy for me to tell stories about the city.
You're an architect of history. Yeah. Hold for camera. Beautiful.
And the whole challenge, initially when I thought, I waited for somebody to do it. It's like koi to aake karega, koi karna chahiye. We always keep, there's a pothole there, but we'll never complain to the BMC that there's a pothole next door. Yeah? We wait for somebody else to do it.
I call my wife an abuse. And she said, please don't call me. It's always the same relationship. But again.
Yeah. So I waited for a long time. This was always in my mind, and it was probably almost, I was 2 decades late. Yeah.
Not that. Okay, go ahead. Because I want to also introduce at some point your entire career before that, which is the amazing side.
Yeah.
But let's go on.
I was always, those were the days in the 80s and 90s when people like Sharda Dwivedi, Foynissen used to talk about history, heritage, about the city.
You say 80s and 90s, I feel so happy. Who remembers 80s and 90s?
So that was a time when a lot of articles used to come, heritage bylaws came in. We are the first city to have heritage conservation.
You can't touch the property, etc.
Yes. Of course, now
Does that work with your relatives? When they get really old, can you say she's a heritage, don't touch her? I mean, we'll touch her anyway. I mean, that's another story.
I don't know whether the bylaws cover that.
They should cover all Parsis. We are heritage.
Totally. And the challenge was, how do you take it? There's obsession about few buildings in the city and the rest of it can be demolished. Right?
Okay. For example?
Fort area should be conserved and all the nice buildings, and rest everything should be demolished.
Don't want to be biased, but I agree totally.
Yeah. And I wrote a letter to the editor, Times of India, saying that why don't we look at there's so much beyond fort and everything should be conserved as much as possible. So that was an idea, and this is when I was doing my engineering.
So this is like an amateur, you're just thinking aloud and sending it to the authorities and seeing what happens.
Then when I did my MBA, my final year project was about...
What a show off यार, flexing इतना करता है. Engineering उसके बाद MBA, मैं सोचा क्या किया मैंने? BA Arts मुश्किल से. That too I don't want to say what I got. 3 or 4 marks over passing.
At that point of time, my final year marketing project was about heritage conservation and how do you market heritage properties in India so that you can end up making money out of tourism. So that will conserve because government doesn't have money to do all this.
Or does it?
We see what has been done in many places where money has been poured in to heritage conservation.
They want to. The roads are clean.
Totally. The challenge at that point of time was that everybody has to do a living. So I got into the rat race after doing... So I worked for various companies. But this was always there in my mind. And as my sister said, I have a habit of collecting random crap. And now I package that crap and give it to people. And she finds it very amusing that people actually pay money to hear the crap that has been collected over the years, right? But it's about various stories of the city.
It's like you're discussing the podcast at the same time. It's amazing. I mean, you're a marketing head now, which you came from, background you've come from.
Exactly. I worked for various companies and this thought was always there. This is the, how do I say, the cafe cum bar cum something that you are going to open in Goa near the beach, which would have a book store next to it. You know, after retirement, this is what I'm going to do.
Everybody wanted to own at some point, own a bar and restaurant and all that.
So it's like that. So someday I'll start an organization that will take people on walks, which will talk about Mumbai's history. But it took me 20 years and a lot of courage. At the end of the day, I'm a Madhyam Vargiya Marathi Manus.
Fair enough.
It takes a lot of courage to...
We are all from the middle class here, don't worry. And we're all struggling. No, but the point here, of course, I mean, quickly talk about your career is that you had to pay bills. You were a young adult. So this dream of yours has to be put on hold for a little while. Otherwise, how will you pay the bills? And what's the point of being a double engineering and quadruple MBA and
I'm a
PhD in chemistry?
I'm a dhakka pass engineer.
No, kuch nahi hai. See, all people who do well in life, they always rubbish their performance before that and all. So we know they're lying, you know. So, and also we went through the corporate structure. You've gone through many big companies. So just very quickly tell us, so you got into, for example, you were running almost your marketing head of Pidilite. And various big organizations as well. Godrej,
Mahindra.
What a turnaround it would be for the, as you just mentioned, we come from a certain middle class mentality where we are trained to be corporate and all that. It takes a lot of guts with that mentality because it's generation of mentality to say, mujhe nahi karna hai. And that too when you're reaching the apex of your career, in a sense. So I'd love to understand where you got the confidence to do that when you're doing so well in the corporate world.
I actually have to thank my wife for that, for allow, you know, Ja Simran Ja type. Totally.
You're Raj.
And no, actually I'm Simran.
I'm Raj. The whole show has changed. We thank Pidilite.
And this idea was there for a long time in my mind. And I had actually sketched the concept of Khaki Tours in 2010. I was stuck in Bhuleshwar. And I couldn't get out of the car to appreciate what is around. So I just thought that I should buy an old village jeep and take people around the city to show. So it will be a khaki colored jeep. So it will be Khaki Tours. And, you know, it's one of those brilliant ideas that come. You sketch, write down things and you forget about it.
Can I interrupt one second? as a young boy, my dream when I was in college, before anything, was that one day I want to own a Willys Jeep. I used to see them, driving.
Totally.
It was still on the roads in the late 80s, early 90s.
Totally.
And I thought, and then I did research also, because it was very bad mileage. It was giving 3-4, if I remember correctly. And it's open.
Yeah.
But I like that rugged feeling.
Totally.
So park it anywhere you want. You want to shit in it, whatever. I don't care. It's like me, unbreakable in my head. But then I also researched, there was remember car called Contessa?
Yeah.
So I researched we can put that engine. One pal of mine had done that.
The Contessa engine
to get better mileage and also get a little more smooth.
Yeah.
Because we are city boys who are struggling with these kind of cars.
Totally.
But a very romantic notion of having and owning that.
Yeah, totally. So that idea stayed. In 2015, somebody asked me, I saw some walks that you had done in the past. Why don't you conduct a walk? So
you were doing the walks?
For friends, I say, I have this habit, idhar Gandhi ji ne ye kiya, udhar wo kiya. I say,
you become Raju guide?
Totally.
So, no, not planned.
Not planned.
When you go somewhere with the group, you suddenly say, ये इसका इतिहास ये है, उसका ये है.
ऐसे, यानी whatever you know, you थोड़ा ज्ञान इधर उधर पेलने का.
All सब सच है, या you're like me?
नहीं.
The 7th battle of Panipat was fought.
So, but I realized that when you tell people something which they don't know in a particular locality, there's a lot of WTF moments, right? So that stayed. So that is the core of Khaki. That सामने वाला साला मेरे को पता नहीं था. Somebody should say that,
Especially if the locality they're used to.
Totally.
That is a real surprise.
Totally.
Like, what are you saying?
Totally. So, whomever we meet, whether the person is coming from out of the city or from the... I love actually hosting people from the city. Yeah, because for them, itne saalon se 50 years I am crossing this Naka, I didn't know.
That's what, that's so embarrassing actually.
Totally. And the fact that today we have more than 60 walks in Mumbai. I don't think so any other city in the world has as many walks by a single walking tour company anywhere in the world.
60 walks.
60 different walks.
60 separate tours one can take.
Walks.
Literally, walks.
Tours are different. Car tours are different. Sailing tours are different.
This is just a walk. Just explain the concept for idiots like me.
Yeah.
So I can take a walk with your team.
Yeah.
And that will take how long and cover like how much?
It can be 1.5 hour or 2.5 hours. A short or a long walk. 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers.
So it depends how fat you are.
Yes.
Patla log 1.5 hours. Mote log 2.5 hours. We've understood the physics, sir.
Totally.
And what is the difference with the tour?
Tour can be in jeep, it can be in a car, it can be in a bus, it can be in a
obviously
boat.
Much wider area will be covered.
Much wider. So usually car tours are meant for people who are not from the city. They just have 4 hours and they need to get a overview of the city. But walking tours are essentially where you get into the depth. I mean, why would somebody want to know Chowpatty for 2.5 hours? But there is so much interesting
but if you're
stuff.
giving me interesting things,
Exactly.
I'd love to know.
Exactly. Yeah. So from Khar, where we are right now, to Chembur to Kolaba. Yeah, that wide area, we have 60 walks and more are coming. So
what about, is there any walk in Malad?
Not yet, but we would love to do it.
It's impossible. You can't walk in Malad. I'm telling you right now, just come from there. It's impossible.
But some of the greatest movies were ever made in Malad.
How? You mean geography of Malad?
No. The Bombay Talkies was located at all the great movies. The Achut Kanyas and whatever, all made in Malad.
I thought they were all South Bombay initially.
Not at all.
Prabha Devi and Worli and Tardeo.
No. Things happened there too and here too, but this was the famous location where most of the shooting, because it was that...
So you've always got that Bollywood option, which everybody likes.
Totally. But the problem is, there are many people who do Bollywood tours in Mumbai, which are very crappy. They get foreigners and make them dance on a stage. Yeah,
wow.
And it's gross.
I want to see that. So they get foreigners to do Hindi movie steps and all.
Yeah. So they first take you to...
they can lagao anything. Dilip Kumar was born here. I mean, what you always going to do?
So they take them to a studio in Andheri where they will show serials being made, Hindi serials being made. And after that, they make them dance somewhere with some...
So basically, when the foreigners see such bad acting that they've never seen before, I mean, it's a very
But for them, it is very exotic.
Very
exotic.
It's the same thing when we see Indian Idol or what is American Idol. We always like the bad singers also, no? They stay with you. I love that. Yeah, whatever happens. Okay, so 60 different walks from Chembur. Okay, if you're outside Mumbai, this is not that... In geography, it's not that much. Chembur, South Bombay to... And
Khar,
where we are. So it's hardly 20 kilometers if you go like that as the crow flies.
But there's 60 walks.
60 walks. Not bad.
So you do one every weekend, it will still take you a year and 1 month.
Yeah.
To finish all the walks. By that time, another 4
I know
5
you're engineering, but it'll be year and 2 months.
Okay, 2.
53 weeks. Then we are left with 7. So do the maths. Yeah. Okay. So let's now go back to your career for a little while. So you were heading, you were marketing head, I think, in 1 or 2 companies also. Yeah. And when your wife said, okay, so let's do it, I want to just get to that area where you decide to give up the corporate world. Doing really well. I understand you weren't doing very, you feel like you're stunted and not growing, but you seem to be doing very well.
Yeah.
So where does the courage come and where does the guts come?
So I think so it was just that one moment when I was actually in Chennai.
Were you drunk?
No. and I had just turned 40. So my wife said, Kar le. Come back to corporate world if it doesn't work, whatever, do. Because when you turn 60...
How do you come back? Once you go, they'll take you back. I mean, you're growing in that position. I mean, you felt कि एक साल.
मुझे लगा था I'm taking a sabbatical for 2 years, 1 year, 2 years, and then I'll come back.
What do you tell your management above?
So I told them what I plan to do.
And what did they say?
They were quite supportive because I was obsessed.
But behind your back, what did they say?
I'll have to go and ask my ex-bosses now. Yeah, but all of them are appreciative of what I do.
Now it's a success, boss. Everyone will claim it. As they say,
मैंने तुझे बताया.
Exactly. Thank God I gave you the right way. Yeah. And did you have an idea about monetizing it and all at that point? You had everything planned out?
At the end of the day, the marketing sense is there. So in marketing, we have something known as gates. So gates, that's what they are called when you do a product launch. So first was whether we have a good product. So I realized after doing 3-4 what is a good product.
This is with the friends only you're talking about.
No.
Your sample study with friends or with people who are strangers?
These were people, strangers who were coming.
Okay.
And they were free walks at that point of time.
Yeah.
So I got the product.
But they appreciated it, you could see that.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, for one of the walks, 203 people landed up because it was free walks.
That's more than we have watching the show. Wow. I mean, that's amazing. We should start walks. What the hell are we doing this stupid podcast?
And after
203 people without any advertising.
Yeah, it was only put up on Facebook. And that time Facebook was nascent. This I'm talking about 2016. Early 2016, January. After that, I said to restrict the number of people, let's charge money and raise it for girl child education. So there was Nanni Kali. So we raised enough money to educate 50 girl children for a year.
Not bad.
By doing 2-3 walks. And then I said, and people expected more. So I said, if I don't create an institution out of this, all this will die.
But how do you handle 203 people? I'm thinking it's like 10-15 people when you do a walk. Now, how do you interact?
No, but people just landed up and
I said organically grew while you're walking. This is like being in Mumbai.
No.
Traffic.
No. So there was a walk earlier which we had done where about 100 people had landed up.
Right.
So at Parel. And a policeman came and asked, kya chalu hai? Morcha hai kya? So we had to tell him this is not a morcha, this is so what is a heritage walk? So we have to tell him that we are talking about history. So he joined. He walked for...
But he's always on duty. What the hell? That's not fair. I mean, he's supposed to be working.
Yeah. So, and
this is such an Indian story, na?
Totally.
Tamasha hai, to everybody.
And there was even a grandmother who was taking her grandson to a school, and she stopped and said, let me listen what he said. So this was so inspiring that people are taking interest. Yeah. And one thing I get credited for by a lot of people is that I have taken out history, heritage discussions out of the drawing rooms of South Bombay, where it is discussed over wine and cheese, to common man. So anybody on the street, because walks are something that you pay for, but I have done a lot of entire series in Marathi, a newspaper for Lok Satta.
I know what Lok Satta is. What do you think I live in fucking You're mistaking me for Vijaykar Kunal, the famous Maharashtrian who's British. Wo alag hai. We know what Lok Satta is and Samna and everything. Don't worry.
Lok Satta's YouTube channel, I did 100 episodes.
100 episodes?
Yeah, on history of Mumbai and on the streets.
That's a lot of copy, yaar.
Yeah, that has almost 3 crore views till now. So
again, he's flexing, and our podcast cannot even be mentioned in the same breath. I now remove myself out of sheer, I bow to your greatness and I leave the studio. Abhi sir, let him do monologue. I'm feeling very complex. Yeah. So, 3 crore views.
Yeah. So, wow. So what I found the beauty is that common man on streets, taxiwalas, rickshawalas. Once we were shooting in a slum, and there were 3 slum guys who came and said that I watch your videos. So that gave me such a heartening feeling that if I can, a common man is interested in talking about what is Flora Fountain and when was it built, and it becomes something that people start chatting about. I think so. My mission of...
What a fantastic idea it is. Now, when I'm thinking about it, it's so secular actually.
Yeah.
Because it's just anybody's thirst for knowledge. You don't have to come from one class of society or dusra. It makes no difference.
Totally.
People want to know, especially their own area.
Totally.
Where you're born, where you're brought up, where
Totally.
we have no idea. So
Totally.
I'm just thinking your market is never ending actually.
Totally.
Plus the foreigners,
Yeah.
plus the non-Mumbai tourists,
Yeah.
plus from other areas in Mumbai.
And now we do outbound. So we take people international to show history, heritage in other countries.
Oh my God.
Like Egypt and Turkey and Cambodia with India links.
Have you gone to Ukraine?
I couldn't put in.
That's dirty. इसमें double meaning है भाई. Now don't pull the Marathi card on me. Putin का
I
मतलब क्या है?
thought only Cyrus is allowed to say that.
It's too late now. We have to go down with what we call the Titanic. My Gujarati friends call it Titanic. So let's get back to the thing. So we'll come to the going abroad and all. Let's go back to Mumbai for a minute.
Yeah.
So take us through some popular walks. Now see, I'll tell you one thing. I'm proper South. Where were you born?
I was born in Villepalle. I mean, born in Girgaon technically.
So where did you grow up? What's your locality for growing up? Because that's your locality.
Villepalle.
Villepalle. You're Villepalle born.
Yeah, I'm still a Hadacha Parlekar as this.
That's what. Did you know about your own area?
I used to wonder why this building is like this. I didn't know. It gradually I started. Today I know much more about Villepalle than I knew as a kid. And the sad part is it was not documented. So thankfully now, I think so. Social media is responsible for at least making people aware.
Yeah.
Because first you think you are the only idiot. The social media makes you realize there are a lakh or 2 lakh more idiots like you who are interested in the same topic. And it could be any topic. I'm not talking only about heritage. It could be stamp collection. There are people who go and watch trains go by. Or
But those are people who miss the train. That happens. You have to be on time.
So that's how it is. It's just a community that you create and keep on increasing.
So you first have to know your own locality because you have to. I mean, people will ask you questions.
Yeah.
Sir, aap kahan se hai and all that. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
You have to give your story also. Because you can't be,
Totally.
the ilaka ka king.
But when I started, I had already moved out of Villepalle. So I was in Vada.
But they'll always ask you. This is the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
So like I grew up in South Bombay, for example, and I don't know how much I don't think I know enough about the roads of South. I mean, I know the roads.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
Yeah.
But beyond that, we don't know the history of the roads
Agree.
and the history of what all the monuments and all that are there.
Yeah. So I would love to take you on a lovely jeep ride and show you what is
sounds
South
like
Bombay.
you're flirting with me in public, and I'm not comfortable. And secondly, is if it's a Willys Jeep, I'm coming.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. It's not a Willys Jeep. Actually, it's a Bolero converted into a Jeep. So
it's also a nice one. But did you keep a Willys at some point or not?
I would love to, but not yet.
They should sponsor it now. It's still there. I'm sure in the army somewhere there are some Willys Jeeps left.
Yeah.
Because they're pride of
totally.
For a certain generation.
Totally. So hopefully.
And it's open air. People who don't understand Willys Jeeps, so now we don't have time for that. We'll do a separate episode only on Jeeps. In the meantime, let's talk about, so take us to one walk, 1 or 2 walks.
Our most popular walk, which happens every day, every evening, is called the Fort Walk. So it starts at the castle. Most people don't know there's a castle in Bombay.
Where?
Yeah.
Sorry. I know, but you don't know. You don't know, no? You don't know. So we just tell them.
The oldest standing building in Sobo is a castle, which is more than a century. No, it's a century older than Taj Mahal, just to give you a reference to context.
Okay.
Have you heard of Ornament Circle?
Of course.
Yeah. You have heard of Asiatic Society?
100%.
And right behind that is the castle.
Really?
Yeah. So from the castle to Gateway of India. So castle is where the first European colonizer came into the city.
Right.
And Gateway of India is where the last British soldier left India. So the whole...
It's poetry, huh?
Yeah. So
yahan se wahan tak and boom, gone.
Yeah, so whole colonial history of the city in 2.5 hours, which you walk through and you understand. And it happens every evening.
Yeah.
Every evening. That's the most popular one. But I think so for Mumbaikars, the most popular one is a walk called Grizzly Girgaon.
Grizzly Girgaon?
Yeah, which happens in the night at 11 o'clock, 11 to 1. Yeah, through the narrow lanes of Girgaon, where we talk about ghost stories. Yeah, so...
this is great. Based on real local...
Yeah. I have documented most of them, speaking to various people, and the documentation of what, why, how. See, it didn't start as a ghost walk. It started as mapping what is there in the area. And so many ghost stories started popping up that I decided to make a ghost walk out of it. And I thought I'll do it as a one-off. And to date, I think so we must have done at least 150 ghost walks since we started. And that's one walk that is always full.
11 to 1 in the night, so people get scared.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
There's some sound effects and all. You have an assistant making sounds like, ooh.
Yeah, so this is not haunted house where white sari mein koi diya leke aurat aayegi. Not that types, but
And that generally is me. Out of work actor, you take whatever you get. Why did you always have white saris?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't
It's almost like BMC gave a ruling. You want to be
I
a
think so. Ramsey brothers are responsible for us.
boss. Zindabad. Yeah. This is our
Actually,
generation,
they feature in our Lamington Lore walk,
Yeah.
where their office is there. So we talk about it. And
They're still doing movies?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, 20 saal baad, they're still doing movies. The green blood concept, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So you got these two, but there's 58 more.
Yeah.
And what happens to places like beyond Andheri, Lokhandwala, and Nala Sopara and all that?
There is so much. I mean, Nala Sopara that you mentioned has the oldest standing building structure
Is it?
in.
I thought it only was built after 70s.
No. So Nala Sopara has a mention in the Bible. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it has a stupa.
I can't believe
from
this.
the Ashokan era.
What?
Yeah, and all.
It's pre the Seven Islands.
Yeah.
There was a Nala Sopara before the Seven Islands.
Yeah, the Nala Sopara was the center of the town, and these were suburbs.
What are you saying, yaar?
At one point of time, and I'm talking about like 2,300 years ago.
And it's in the Bible and it's in the Ashok edicts.
Yes.
What is it doing in the Bible? Is the Bible set in Middle East?
But it talks about various countries from where things come and go, and so this was known as a port called Ophir.
And the pride, what?
Ophir.
Ophir?
Yeah, and Ophir is Sopara, Shurparaka, so there are various names to the same locality.
Sir, I'm feeling this marketing genius of yours is just fooling me.
Yeah.
Ophir has become Shuparaka.
No, it's Shuparaka, Sopara, Ophir.
Sopara, Cambe, Sopara, the pots.
Yeah,
mujhe yaad hai.
yeah.
I have a little understanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a fantastic thing. And where is the Ashok?
And of course, you come from Bharuch. So Bharuch also was an ancient port.
Yeah, very much.
From those times.
Traded a lot. I want to tell you about my great grandfather, Sir Shapuji Broacha. Have you heard of him? He built the stock exchange. He's one of the founders of the stock exchange. The bust is there. Now they've done a revamp, so they moved everything out. They'll put it back apparently.
Lovely.
So please do some research on him.
100%.
He was a
We'll add it to our lock, stock, barrel walk.
No, I'm seriously, he's done a lot of philanthropy, built a lot of things and all that.
Sure.
A good man, don't judge by me. Genes, they change over generations. Wow, what a story. So, in the Ashok edicts, what is the mention?
The main edict is actually in CSMVS Museum, what used to be Prince of Wales.
Yeah.
That is the location where it is. So, he put up all locations where his kingdom was there. So Ashokan kingdom came right up till Nala Sopara. So where we are was part of the Ashokan Empire.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought even more like towards the southeast and all.
No. That is the Pallavas and the Cholas and, the southern dynasties.
After the Battle of Kalinga, didn't he go towards outside India's shores as well? No?
So he sent Mahinda to Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka, Buddhism spread happens, but not in terms of a battle.
So they came all the way to the Deccan proper, Maharashtra.
And this was one of the most important ports at one point of time. So today we look at Bombay and JNPT, both of them.
I have a lot of respect for Nala Sopara. I used to make fun of it. Now I'll say like Sir Nala Sopara. I'll give a prefix before saying it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So the entire area, Vasai and all, were far more important than the Seven Islands.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. For a long time, till the Brits came and they made Mumbai great. So that's how it is.
They made Mumbai in a sense, because it wasn't really there.
No. So had they not come, the city's name would have been Mahim.
Huh?
Yeah, because the Kasbah of Mahim is far older than Bombay.
So you think Kulaban would not have been made only?
No, they were islands. They were lowly islands where, malaria-infested islands. The only flat island which used to be there was Mahim, which was a flat island. Yeah. So when you cross the Mahim Causeway, you see a fort to your right. And the area around it is called the Kasbah of Mahim. So that is...
I'm warning you as a Marathi Manus, you be very careful. The elections are around the corner at the time of recording. Local election, Maharashtra. I'm little worried about what you're saying here.
Yeah.
Okay, where they are fighting for Mumbai and this and Amchi Mumbai and this and that, and you are making Nala Sopara the greatest gem, and Mahim is the name of the new city. Boss, you and me will have to wear helmets on the walk. Be very careful. I'm really worried. Yeah. What a fabulously interesting concept when you think about it.
So that's what I'm saying. Wherever you are in Mumbai, start looking. Just draw a 1 kilometer radius around a circle around your area and start looking. Once you start looking, you realize your backyard has so much. And everywhere in Mumbai. It's like an open air museum.
What if you're looking and there's a woman who thinks you're stalking her? because I tend to, look a lot and then suddenly a woman is saying, kya dekh raha hai? That happens. And that's my own wife. It's so embarrassing. Okay, we'll take a quick break. We are almost on to the 30th minute. Then we'll come back learning more about these new experiences. Obviously, as we go to break, you're always learning.
Yeah.
Like, it never ends, right? Because
actually, the more you learn, you realize you know less.
That's what.
Yeah, when you are ignorant, you are more confident.
I was so cocky about this. I said, oh, mere ko kya sikhayega? I know. I was already South Mumbai. I'll be able to hold my own. Now he's saying that Mahim would have been the name of Mumbai. Nalasopara is then the Bible and an Ashok edict. I mean, we have no idea, no concept. So we'll take a quick break. Please pay attention. Write down notes. Bharat is going to tell us a little bit more about the history of not just Mumbai when we come back. We'll go beyond Mumbai as well.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus, Says and Ayushi dive into the Adani bribe, India vs Australia, Jaguar's rebrand, COP29 drama, Zomato's drop twist, and a Shanghai robot heist. On Century of Stories India, Kunal unravels the inspiring tale of India's Asian Game triumph under Syed Abdul Rahim. Folks, if you like our show, spread the word. Tell your friends and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media via IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on YouTube by their show names, so do look out for them and have fun watching. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: IDFC First Bank, Axis Mutual Fund, SBI Mutual Fund, ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund.
These islands only come up in the last 700 years.
Oh, correct.
Yeah. But much more is there in the region which is predating
3 times more.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. So we'll continue talking offline. Normally when the guest takes a break, they don't want to look at me. But Bharat is educating me. For you, wherever you go, people always ask you the same question. Like a doctor, right? The doctor gets questions, ye dard ho gaya idhar and all that. You get the same question from point of view of cities.
And many times people get irritated. They ask me a question and I said, I don't know. How can you not know?
So what do you not know? I've asked you everything.
No. So it is impossible for anybody to know everything about the city.
Write fast. Pretend it's a live show. Write in quickly and tell us what you think he will not know. But coming back, so this is the Mumbai spill, but you've already gone beyond Mumbai.
Yeah.
Okay, because obviously there's no end to this.
Yeah.
So take us through this whole international. You said Egypt and places like that.
Yeah. There are a lot of group tours which go from India, but they only do sightseeing. They don't try and understand. They will go there and eat Indian food. Yeah.
They carry the...
Yeah. They carry a separate bag.
Yeah. Normally plastic bag with doklas.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed.
Yes, totally.
We'll leave it there. These Maharashtrians, I tell you. Dividing the country, yeah.
You don't understand the local culture. You don't understand. You are eating your own food there. Yeah. You are not appreciating what history is there. And most importantly, what are the connects with India? Because everywhere you go, at least I keep on seeing Indian connections everywhere, right?
And trade was flourishing with India from Mesopotamia and India were the oldest, Egypt to some extent. These three. Yeah.
All of them. I just gave a talk yesterday on how India influenced the world. So from Japan to Italy, there are so many relics which are there about how India influenced, or not in the recent times, I'm talking about ancient times. Right? It's important to see the connections.
Yeah.
We think we are globalizing now after liberalization in the 90s. We were always global. We don't realize it. It's only probably after the independence for a few, half a century, we were closed as an economy.
We became more Victorian in a sense.
Looking inward. But we were always open. So many ideas came, went. Food is influenced. So those connections, like I stay in Badala. I stay in a notorious area, which was notorious at one point of time, called Antop Hill.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. But that's all gone now, no? Obviously. It's all now civilized. New Kaf Parade. I've heard all these strange
kind
words.
My house overlooks a old dargah, which is almost 800 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's called Sheikh Misri. The word Misr means Egypt.
Is it?
Yeah. So he's an Egyptian holy man who has come to Mumbai 800 years ago, settled here. His urus happens here every year and things like that. Now, these are small connections which are fascinating to see that we are always connected. Or the fact that Buddha images have been found in Egypt and things like that. So,
but the religion never went there.
The religion never went, but
there
it
was trade.
No, you have to realize they were accepting. So, ISIS temple, the recent excavation show, ISIS temple actually had a Buddha image. wherever you go to Turkey, whatever, many places you see multiple gods, Egyptian gods in Turkey, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So Roman gods coming to Egypt and things like that. So it's not much of it was inclusive.
So what is it? You're more secular freaking society years back,
100%.
hundreds of years back, where easygoing sort of people were more easygoing about everything
100%.
and inclusive.
Totally. And I still think the strength of this city is also about the fact that we are more inclusive than most other places.
We are a melting pot. At least we are still a melting pot, whether you like it or not. Yeah.
How much? See, some flare up somewhere shouldn't be taken as the norm. Yeah, but look at many places.
So political agitations are not flare-ups because the people are just, that's another story.
Totally.
But is it fair to say that Kolis and Parsis built the modern Mumbai? Because I hear this a lot. No, be honest. Because I hear this and then we try to take credit.
I might be politically incorrect when I say this, but I'll still say it.
Please.
Okay? Most of the Kolis that you see, Hindu Kolis, because when you say Kolis, in your mind, Hindu Kolis have come in.
What option is there other than Hindu Kolis?
No, Christian Kolis are there.
Oh, Christian Kolis. Correct.
Yeah, the East Indians.
I know. Yeah,
East Indians.
Maria.
Yeah,
Variety.
yeah. So most of the see what has when the Portuguese were here, they ruled this area from beyond Danu. So from Daman right up till Chol, which is south of Alibag. The entire this area was known as Uttar Firangan, Northern Firangi lands.
Nice. Yeah. I like the name. Please, a movement for renaming it. Uttar Firangi land.
Yeah. And Dakshin Firangan is Goa. Oh. So Goa is the southern Firangi land and this is Northern Firangi.
Nice. I keep this in mind when I become Prime Minister.
And so the Portuguese tried to convert everybody cent%
into Christianity.
So there was barely any Hindus left. So whatever Hindu Kolis you see would be the Kolis who would have come from outside. Yeah?
Okay.
So
who are the ones who were initially in Mumbai?
Kolis, Bhandaris, Agris. So Bhandaris
These are gypsies, right?
No.
Bhandaris?
So no, Bhandaris are toddy tappers.
Okay.
Yeah. So I always say if only Kolis were there, whom did they sell their fish to?
Exactly.
Yeah, somebody
has
has
to
buy.
be some other communities. Yeah.
So the Agris are the ones who worked on the salt pans. Yeah. The Kunbis are the one who did rice cultivation. And toddy tappers gave toddy, right? The Bhandaris.
Correct.
So together it made the meal.
You need drink with food.
Totally.
It's a fair point, yeah.
So
you're a marketing guy.
Yeah. So all of them together, they were converted and jointly all these communities are referred to as East Indian.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
See how much we're learning today, yaar. This is fantastic, yeah.
So I would say they are the original locals.
Okay.
Of this
of the new Mumbai, because you have mentioned Nalasopara and also there.
Yeah, even there, because they are all converted. No?
Okay.
Then when the Portuguese were kicked out by the Maratha Empire from this entire area in the Battle of Vasai, that is when all of them others came in and whatever, right? So, but the East Indians are the original local inhabitants of this area.
So we could call Mumbai Kolistan. It would be fair, or Koli Nagar, if you like. We are putting it out there. We are not saying do it. We are just putting it out there as an option.
Yeah.
Because when you're trying to find
but there were multiple other communities.
Fair. But you are saying that they come under the umbrella and we call them all Kolis, right?
Yeah.
So we can't name 5 like that.
Yeah. So I would say East Indians are the original ones.
But the East Indian sounds like a Firang name, no? Then someone will object.
Yeah, so that is what they chose at that point of time as their name.
Purva, Paschim, what do you call this? The translation.
Purva Christi.
Purva Hindustani.
Hindustani.
Because it's India, not Marathi. Otherwise we'll get regional issues will start. My God. I'm not calling you back here. Very dangerous conversation. Hum dono. In a way we are too secular. It won't work here. Okay. So you went to Egypt, you went to all these places and you find the India Connect everywhere.
Exactly.
Which you traced.
Yeah.
No, I want to know who is the person who will come now in Egypt to see the walk. Are we getting the foreigners or are we getting Indians?
Indians.
Okay.
So we take Indians. Of course, some NRIs join in. People are coming from other cities also. And all this is word of mouth. We don't advertise.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. So
on this thing,
social media we post it, but it's not like we put money into campaigns or anything of that sort. And
showing off, yeah. You know how much money we put into our podcast? ROI kuch nahi hai, zero. Sir, can we hire you from your old previous avatar?
Simple logic is the content is good enough for people to end up recommending. They become your brand ambassadors. That's the best.
I think everyone in this room is fascinated. If they had the money and the time, no question. I don't think that anybody will say no. Because I think the holidays are too stereotyped otherwise. It just becomes too. Especially when you're talking about the same place that you've gone 8 times and you still don't know.
Exactly.
And that happens a lot with my guys who go to Thailand. What do you do in Thailand? Yeah, you guys? Later. Strange guys. So that's the foreign thing. Let's talk a little bit about the Jeep tours now, which I think Amit, who runs the place, was telling me about. So what do I get to experience with if I was a foreigner or a guy from Delhi in Mumbai? What do I see?
3 locations is where a jeep tour would happen. One is in Bandra, where you will go through.
But there's no parking in Bandra, so
doesn't matter. The jeep keeps on moving.
Achha. You better rush. Aaja.
See, basically the jeep is meant for lazy people who don't want to walk. So you stop from place to place. But the jeep allows you to cover a far wider area as compared to a walking tour would. So you get a better bang for your time.
But your entire journey you'll cover, no? You obviously, I mean, wherever you're going from, it'll be every nook and cranny you'll be looking at, right, on the way.
I mean, the entire Bandra Khar area
Take us to one. I know it's a local thing, but people try and understand. Take us to one trail, if you like.
Yeah, sure. So the most popular one that we do is known as Imperial Fort. So in the fort area that we do, we start again at the castle. Because that's the seed around which modern day Mumbai has
South
evolved.
Mumbai was built.
Not South. Entire Mumbai today that is where it has grown from.
We own Mumbai now in modern context.
So you start from there. You make people realize that entire Mumbai at one point of time was just 1 kilometer long and half a kilometer wide.
And that's it.
That's it. And it had a fortification around it, and that's the reason that areas...
I'm sorry, again, this is a local conversation, so people may not follow. Can you explain to me what that 1 kilometer... Just give me the whole...
If you have come to Mumbai, there is a place called Kala Ghoda.
Of course, I live there.
So Kala Ghoda is the southernmost end of Mumbai.
Okay.
The town.
Okay, so where is my 1 kilometer stretching to from there?
CSMT station. What is Victoria Terminus earlier.
That's it?
That's it.
What are you saying?
And that was all enclosed...
Can you go back to those days?
So the only way we can do that is by showing you images of what it was at one point of time.
So as we go, again local, I apologize. So as you go ahead from Kala Ghoda towards the Churchgate and all this, it's all reclaimed, right? There was...
Churchgate is on reclamation. So the Maidans are the open area around the fort.
But they were not there.
It was an esplanade, which is an open area around the fort.
Which they had to remove and redo.
Yeah.
And where did the sea come from? Up to?
What is Queen's Road or Maharshi Karve Road? So all the Art Deco buildings that you see are all on reclamation. Oval Maidan was on sea.
Yeah, that's what.
And even here, Regal onwards was all sea.
Arey wah.
So,
can you imagine?
Yeah. So Afghan Church, if you have seen.
Yeah, of course.
That is Kolaba. That is real Kolaba.
That's
everything between.
Kolaba,
Yeah. But rest all is reclamation in between.
Is it?
Yeah. So Kolaba, what does the word causeway mean? Connecting two islands.
Oh. Causeway, I thought meant ki this is the way to go. Na causeway, this from here.
So everything that is reclamation. Taj is on reclamation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So same with everything around that area is on reclamation. So 60%
so
of
we have manufactured the land here, basically.
60% of South Bombay is reclaimed from the sea.
And
then we grumble about...
They were telling me about this.
And then we grumble about the new coastal road and how, I mean, everybody in Lower Parel,
I'm not grumbling.
to Dadar, everybody's on reclamation.
Today I reached in 26 minutes from deep in South Mumbai into Khar. Which 10 years back or 30 years back, though, you'll take a map and start, in the old days. So I'm not complaining. That's a good point to ask you. What is your thing about progress, Vikas?
Yeah.
Where do you compromise? Because you're saving the old world, you're treating us to the old world. Yeah. You're connecting us to the old world, but you seem to be quite open to progress. And
at the end of the day, the city has to be livable. Yeah. Right? And the way it is going sometimes, especially older areas where there's incentive given to tear down old buildings and...
Kala Ghoda.
Kala Ghoda is still okay. You should go to places like...
3-4 buildings in our area which they want to remove.
Dongri, Kalba Devi, these areas. Of course, you get what is known as popcorn towers. You are on the 43rd floor and you are looking into somebody's window. Because that they have also built for 43 floors and it doesn't make sense. Yeah, so it's a very scary situation which is happening in what was the old native town of Bombay, as it used to be called. And because the water supply pipes are going to be same, your sewage disposal is going to be same, roads are same. Only more people will come and it will grow vertical. So it's a scary situation.
How much can we grow vertical?
Exactly.
There has to be a limit.
Exactly.
People leave Mumbai. Please, it's our request. Leave it for the Kolis and the Parsis. And a few of my Maharashtrian cousins will keep. Baki, you'll have to go. Sorry about it. But it's big country. Enjoy. Tell me if I'm saying the wrong thing. Okay, I've got one question I have to ask you. Have you done a tour about Mumbai's VIPs and the VIP culture? Because I think that's another thing you should expand. People will love to see how we are stopped while 25 cars have to go. I was coming up from Pune in the night on Saturday, really late, 2-3 in the morning, and they stopped us on Marine Drive to let some cars go. I counted 27 cars. I don't even know who the person is.
Exactly.
It was ridiculous. But it's so beautiful. I feel so proud that somebody is getting this treatment. Can we see one of those tours?
I wish I could do something like this.
Have you ever put a lal batti on your car and taken off?
Not yet.
Is there government support you? Do you get any government support in all this? Because they should. I mean, you're doing a lot to promote the city and promote the world.
Yeah. They are interested, but currently, if you can see, governments keep on changing.
But that's another thing. Yeah.
So we already host walks in the BMC building.
Which politician walks? Which bureaucrat walks?
Many bureaucrats do.
Bureaucrats are well educated people.
Yeah.
I love the bureaucrats.
Even politicians. Many politicians are interested. I'm not joking.
Really?
Yeah.
Many
Name
of them.
6.
Name 7. No, don't name. Baba, mat. Kya karta hai? Don't do this, yaar.
No. But I'm being very frank. Many of them are interested. They are supportive.
Yeah.
But of course, the current flux doesn't allow them to support the way it should be.
What about corporates?
Corporates are very, very interested. And see...
I mean, you are a corporate guy also. You come from that structure.
Yeah. So, corporates have supported us a lot. We also have a not-for-profit organization, which is called the Khaki Heritage Foundation.
I'll give you a second one. Cyrus Says. Put it in your resume.
Totally.
Please.
Totally. And we have a physical space at Kalagoda, which is called the Khaki Lab, where we...
But I have a small office there. I'll come and say hello to you.
100%.
Where's this Khaki Lab?
If you know the new copper chimney...
Of course.
Bang up.
You're 1 minute walking distance from my small office.
Lovely.
100% I'll come there.
Lovely.
Lunch khilayega na?
100%.
Oh, great. Copper chimney is good enough.
Yeah,
you don't have to go far.
Totally.
Very good butter chicken, yes.
Totally.
Top of the line. Yeah.
And the cello kebabs are too.
Ooh. Little expensive, I felt.
I know.
You must be getting a special discount. Mumbaikar discount.
And so it's a 500 square feet space where we do workshops, we do talks, film shows. It's a cultural space, which is dedicated to the city. So
you also were involved in this whole Kalagoda festival thing, no?
Yeah, I'm the curator for last 6 years.
What are you saying?
Yeah. One of the curators, So the Heritage Walk section is curated by me.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it is.
And that's grown quite a bit also, no?
Yeah. From 2019, I'm involved.
Of course, you make us remove our cars. We can't park for a whole week or so. I'm not complaining. It's okay. I mean, we have to park somewhere far away in Churchgate area and then walk for 20 minutes. But it's all good. It's January. The weather is not bad normally.
Yeah. End of January. It will happen this year also. And the fascinating part is a wide section of society comes. It is not just, it's not a exclusive event.
Oh, now it's a proper like one of those carnivals, no? People,
carnivals.
All types come,
To some extent, it has become very Instagram worthy for the younger.
You mix it up. I full credit to all you guys because there's things like stand-up comedy happens and art exhibition and food, a lot of great food. Food in Mumbai, it goes together.
Totally.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So a lot happens and we have to thank Brinda for...
Chudasama, right?
Miller.
Miller, sorry.
Miller Chudasam.
Just get that right, Broacha. Get that right.
She keeps the flock together.
Is she the founding mother of the...
She has been involved since inception.
Okay.
And she's driving.
But she's not a Koli or a Parsi. And still she's done such hard work for us. Leave it there. Don't answer my questions. All right, before we go to the AMAs, so now what happens next? What are the new plans for Mumbai itself? I know that you can go on expanding elsewhere, Indian trail.
So I already have released one book on the fort area, how you can explore on your own if you want to. There are 2-3 more.
But why would you do that? They'll kill the business, no?
No, not at all.
People
come for stories, not information.
So you're saying no one will actually go? They take the do-it-yourself book and they don't go.
No, so they read information about a building.
And then they want to know more.
But many a times if you give that also, they come back for your walk because at the end of the day, we are a storytelling culture, We love to gupshup. I mean...
look at the ghost stories in Girgaon, for example. I mean, that's a totally different thing altogether.
Or a very popular one currently with a lot of NRIs coming is Cricket Capital.
Shivaji Park?
No, it starts from Oval. Yeah.
Oval, yes.
Oval is birth of Indian cricket.
Academy.
Yes. But it's the... I mean...
Veenu Mankad and gang...
much before that.
Before that also?
Yeah, so basically...
before the Pentangular?
Much before that.
Kya baat hai?
So it's a story which would be very similar to what happens in the movie Lagan. Yeah. Only there is no Bhuvan, there would be a Baman. Yeah,
the Parsis were the first. Fair.
And then others come in. I was told by somebody that the reason many Hindus stopped wearing dhotis and shift to pants was because the ball would get caught while playing.
Don't laugh, you're a Hindu. You're betraying your people. Don't laugh. Yeah. But where would they keep the abdi guard in the dhoti also? No?
That was invented much later.
That whole joke about what helmet came for. No, abdi guard
helmet came
100 years later. Yeah. Because men, we have our priorities. So wow, it's very, very fascinating. Guys, you have to go and check it out. You're also known as Bhargo.
Yeah, that's my... So when I initially
Kunal
started
told me,
writing...
ask him who's Bhargo.
Yeah. So it's Bhargo.
It's Bhargo.
Bharat Gothoskar, short form. When I was in the corporate world, I used to write a lot of shit, but I didn't want my bosses to know that I was writing all
Achha,
this.
it's a pseudonym.
Yeah, it's a pseudonym in which I used to write. And it also means the light of sun which dispels ignorance. So I thought, ऐसे खुद को जरा...
Very, I think, slightly pretentious. I don't want to. My pet name is Bunty. It means nothing. It means Bunty. Yeah. Oh, excellent. What a story. But no, honestly, I know we're pulling your leg, no, but I'm very proud. I think you've done something fantastic. And the idea, like I said, we're all jealous of the idea. But the moment you know you're jealous of the idea, it's like those are the startups or the new businesses that seem to be on another level altogether. And there's no end to it. Once you tell me about the Indian trail, I'm fascinated. I wish I had more time in my life to do these. I love history. So this idea of trying to trace, what is the Ashoka connection, as you mentioned. I didn't know that the empire came all the way down to the Deccan proper, in this area, etc. Nalasopara was to be celebrated as a port, which was very well known. And bloody Kolaba was just reclaimed land. Unbelievable. Okay. So Khaki Tours, quickly to tell everybody out there, check out Khaki Tours. Wherever you are, go online, figure it out, find your time. You don't come to Mumbai, but there's lots of other options as well. What's the site they go to?
KhakiTours.com.
That's it?
Yeah.
Nothing more? I think all the information.
Yeah, the only problem is some of them write as Khaki. It's not Khaki.
How do you spell?
Khaki.
Khaki. Khaki, yeah. And how do they spell it, some of them?
Khaki.
Which is
Khaki. So that's wrong.
Okay. Hey, Punjabi, learn to spell. I've told them. It's done. All done. May I ask the budgets, what costs to company for me or anybody interested? Can you give us a...
shared experiences start at 600 per person.
Do I have to bring my wife or I can go with somebody else's wife? Shared experience, Mancho? Kya bola?
So it starts at 600 and goes up to 1,000 for a shared experience. But private ones are more expensive because they're exclusively meant for you. So
right. So that depends. It depends on the whole situation. But it doesn't sound that expensive then for a person to spend an evening.
Not at all.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Do we get a snack?
No. You get a complimentary coffee currently.
Okay, good enough. Especially 11 to 1, I'll need it. If I go for the ghost stories. Okay, so there it is, Khaki Tours. Neha says, these are your fans who are writing. Love Khaki, especially the Banganga walk. Oh, that is another... Is it true that is the birth of Krishna?
No.
No. Krishna was there? Or?
No, Ram is supposed to... Ram, on the way to Lanka, stopped there. And there was no water, that's the belief. And hence he struck an arrow and that's how Banganga was born.
But from Ayodhya, why did he come to...
No, he was in Nasik.
Well, why was he in Nasik?
Because he was in Vanvas.
Okay.
So Nasik was a forested area.
So he's close by somewhat.
Yeah. So on the way, he's going along the sea route. And that is when, that's the belief. So there are multiple places which claim that this is where Lord Ram came on the way to Lanka. So this would
you do tours in Ayodhya?
I don't know. I have not been to Ayodhya, so I wouldn't. But I would love to
do it
across the country.
It's quite fascinating to actually look at places like Kurukshetra and all that and see, what actually is there.
In Western world, there are so many battleground tours which happen.
Many of them, they reenact and all, no?
Yeah, and nothing happens here. So I feel very bad that so many of the forts in Maharashtra. Maharashtra has the maximum forts and caves in entire country.
Really? We have so many, actually, we don't even notice them until somebody points it out.
Totally.
Very, very interesting. The question. So, Banganga Walk, what's the one hidden gem in Mumbai that practically no one knows about, yet so accessible? Any obvious thing we don't know about? Told us a few.
My favorite location is Baikala because there are so many places hidden.
Noor Mohammadi. Just, by the way, super white chicken.
But that's not that's in Dongri.
Technically.
Just across. But Baikala is fascinating because it's the first suburb. So
it's called a suburb back in the day.
Back in the day, because
how lazy were they then?
Town was very small, right?
1 kilometer.
So where JJ Hospital is where Mumbai ended, and the next island was Mazgaon.
Wow, it's like a small village. I would have loved to live like that.
Totally. Yeah. So Mazgaon was a place. It was Alibag of that time.
Oh, the external
all the
end.
Wealthy people would build their pleasure palaces over the weekend in Baikala. Right, so
pleasure palaces. My friend,
that's my word. But
Kunal was born in Mazgaon, our common friend. He was born in a pleasure palace. It looks like
Saint Mary's,
all that. Oh, you've done your research on all that.
So we have walked there, which is called Bit by Nesbit because it's on the Nesbit Road.
Right.
But out there is a very fascinating temple called Ghodabdev. It literally translates to the Lord who comes on a horse, and it is a volcanic eruption. which is 66 million years old. Yeah.
Huh?
And it would be 3 times the size of this room, where people pray to it as God of Dev. And there's a silver mask on that volcanic eruption as a representation. And his horse is a separate volcanic lava flow which is solidified and prayed to. And most people, when they see it, are very, very stunned. If it was in any other city, it would have been a major tourist attraction. Here, it is hidden in I wouldn't call it slum. It's an informal housing setup.
The setup doesn't explain the grandness of what it is.
It. Yeah. So, and there's a Chinese temple there. There's a Chinatown in Mazgaon.
Still?
Where lion dance happens on a Chinese.
All the Anglo-Indians and all used to live in there in the recent past. So there, a lot of the communities were mixed.
Merle Oberon was born in Baikala.
The Hollywood?
Wow. So
Merle Oberon is a famous actress. Google her. Who you're saying was so Indian by geography.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Apna, Aplia, Amchi, Towers. Very good, very interesting.
Yeah, so many of the palaces built by the wealthy merchant princes, like what is Masina Hospital, was the Sassoon Palace. So when Prince of Wales came in 1875, the first time a future king came to India, he was hosted by the Sassoon. So we know what happened, where. So it's very fascinating to look at all this.
They also played a big part of the Sassoon family, David Sassoon, in building things.
Totally.
Why don't we name more Sassoon doctors there? We have given him a little bit. Give him a little bit more, I feel. Some of the founding fathers perhaps are not given enough when you think about it. Maybe one day your name will be there. I want to ask you quickly, I'm running out of time. What about the Khada Parsi? And don't laugh. It's famous. Speaking of Baikala and that area. What is the story behind that?
So basically, Khada Parsi's son had actually gone to Western world, and he saw a statue equivalent which was made in South America, in a city in South America. So he wanted something similar for his own father, and that's how they ended up replicating it. It was, the current location is not the original location.
Oh.
If you know Sarvi restaurant.
Of course.
Yes.
What are you saying? Best
any sobo wala will know.
Kebabs in the world. I bow to you, Sarvi.
So that junction is where the original statue used to be there. Why they moved it out, don't know. Now they have put it between the two flyovers where you barely see it. So it doesn't do justice.
But you get caught in traffic, you see it a lot. Depends. In the old days.
Yeah, but you see the Parsi itself.
It's a side. It's a side view. I get what you're saying.
Totally. It's not the grandness.
More respect should be given.
Total.
Pedestal or platform should have been created more of. Fair. Okay, before we run out quickly, Ryan says if you had to create a playlist of songs, that embody a Mumbai spirit, which 3 songs would definitely make the cut?
Oh my
this
goodness.
Is damn tough.
I'm bad with music. But
Mumbai Meri, Jaan and those kind of.
Many of them.
Dil hai mushkil, the usual.
And of course I think so Uma Pocha, that is this one's sister.
Usha
Uttap's sister. She has done a very famous Bombay song. I forget the...
Bombay Meri hai? Come to Bombay, Bombay Meri hai, something like that. Yeah, it's beautiful. So it's a Konkani folk song, I think, which they
the tune is very good.
Yeah.
That's how it is. So all I'm saying is there are many songs which are there, and I think it's very difficult to say this is Bombay.
You're not giving a Marathi song. You're saying all the wrong things, actually. I'm thinking one is almost going towards Konkani, right? No? There's no song.
I don't recollect of a Marathi song which is on Mumbai. Actually, there are povadas written about Mumbai. And I actually came across a povada which is almost... it is written in the late 19th century, which actually talks about Tata's Bangla.
Wow.
Yeah, so today is a day when
Ratan
Tata
Sorry,
passed
we're
away.
recording this when...
And
the reference is there.
Reference is there in an old povada.
How many years back? 150 years back.
150 years back. And the povada actually says, Campacha Maidanavarti Tatacha. What you should see when you reach Mumbai. So one of the things that, the tick list.
Oh.
Yeah. He says Campacha Maidan is what is today Azad Maidan. Because
camp.
Camp is the military camp.
Fair.
So Campacha Maidanavarti Tatacha Bangla is a must see because it is beautifully illuminated. That's what it says. So I find it very fascinating that the strength of this city is that the various communities look at it and collaborated. They didn't compete.
No. They didn't. They were a team effort in a sense.
Exactly. And that's I mean,
maybe you're in the wrong zamana. Bichara. And you're preaching about this secularism and niceness. And I also feel that when I see Hindi films from the 70s and 60s, you just get a feeling of like sometimes it's like a happier country.
Totally.
It's just the shot of the car on Marine Drive. People just seem happy, the music, whatever. Maybe we're just old. Totally. I don't know.
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic, yeah, it's true. Listen, this has been wonderful talking to you, sir, but we have to end the show, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Please come back because there's so much information you can give us and share us. Once again, Khaki Tours, check it out. Please join it. You will not, if you're a Mumbaikar, it's a shame. Sharam ki baat hai if we don't actually, I mean, because you opened my eyes and I thought I know decently, I have a better than, normal average, say, understanding, but I don't. And so I think it'll be great. It'll absolutely, just add alcohol also, no?
Yeah, we are planning to start a walk which is called Bar Court.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, there's bar hopping.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it is a take on old Parsi word Bahar Court. So court is the fort. So area just outside fort is Dhobi Talab.
Yeah.
And there are some old bars which are there in Dhobi Talab,
Oh,
and
yeah,
we would do some club hopping.
Yeah.
So I'm
Sunshine.
sure Sunshine. I was just going to say that.
What are you saying?
So Sunshine, Kit Kat.
Kit Kat. Yes. Mujhe yaad hai.
Irwin,
You're making me cry
Alfred.
again.
All these.
Alfred! Oh my God! As we turn right for Princess Street. Yeah. Vijay Karbhai and me have drunk there. We have drunk like losers in all these places to save money, thinking it was cheaper, and not one girl. Never saw a girl.
They are called uncle bars.
The uncle bars.
There used to be auntie bars once upon a time when Goan aunties used to sell illicit.
That was in Bandra. I remember.
No, that was
auntie used to sell after the time had gone.
No. This is when there was prohibition in the city. Goan aunties used to sell.
Where?
They were hidden in houses and things like that. So they used to be called auntie
give
bars.
A code. Auntie.
Yeah. And usually, how do you know there's an anda wala selling boiled andas? So he will tell you where is the auntie selling illicit.
Wow, what a beautiful country, city, South Mumbai.
Yes.
All right, sorry, but we have to stop. Vargo has spoken his heart, opened his mind. He's there, he's available, and you're still doing it yourself, right? Principally, lots of times.
So there are over 70 people are hosting walks.
Fair, but do we get you? How do we get you?
Yes. I do host.
It's a premium or something?
No. I'm the backup. Whenever somebody is ill, whatever happens.
When people put themselves down now, you know that they are the alpha completely of the organization. So I don't know, I can't guarantee you will get him on the walk, but you will get his people who are well trained.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right. Cheers. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed.
Of course. My generation with video cassettes, where if we rewound it twice, it would get stuck. And you spend the whole day trying to, especially if it's porn, then you spend the whole time before your father comes home, you have to remove it and make sure it's normal because I have to go back to the video guy. I can't go back like this and say, wow, nice movie.
You used to get porn on VHS.
Yeah, bro. We worked so hard.
So you would just have to wait
and camera
for
prints sometimes. Some of the prints are the prints weren't always great, huh? You get what you get.
But then you would have to wait for both of your parents to leave before you can watch something.
The group would. No, you'd have to find one guy whose house is empty.
You would watch it with friends? That's disgusting, dude.
Obviously.
Is that where you got the Croson
all males,
from?
all heterosexual males watching together. Bro, this is life.
Man, I don't think you guys are heterosexual.
This was the way the world was. What could I do? We were so happy to have an empty house. Oh, my parents are going for a movie, Regal, 10 o'clock. Okay, boys, come. So everybody goes there. And then we know we have so much time. And then once it went against us, because they couldn't get tickets, but there's no mobile phone, the fucking people...
And then they came back?
Obviously! They couldn't get tickets.
They didn't go to a different theatre or anything?
No, but this late night show, if you miss the last one or whatever, there's nothing left. Now, 10:30 was the cutoff.